I thought it was intense.
Did you? Okay, well, welcome to the show. How you doing, everyone?
We're all gonna die.
It was intense.
We're all gonna die.
It was cool.
Or I'm just gonna stand from a distance and watch them all die.
That too.
3 of grief, I think. Yeah, I'm just pre-grieving for Imogen. I was literally, if you were gonna let me, I was going to hold the door open and then have them run out and then have it close it behind her. I was like, yeah, no.
That was,
fine.
I was trying to hold it so that you
I
guys
would
could
have
escape.
sacrificed her.
Yeah.
I would have straight up Hodored that shit.
Well, that was my original plan. I don't think I rolled well enough to do it because my plan was like hold that shit and be like get out.
This is the British Hodor technique where everyone holds the door and says after you.
All four of us hold the door like leave me behind. It's like we're all holding the door.
Someone has to leave. Too fast.
Oh, I gotta take this off. It's hot. Well.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah, that was a pretty intense episode.
That was yeah.
Oh, Imogen's gonna need some of Charity's blood.
What?
I know why.
She's never had access to a vampire before.
Huh.
She was very close to spending.
You know what? If we survive, Charity will give you.
No. I need it during the fight.
Yep.
Oh.
It's the reason why she recognizes the blood spell.
It's been a while.
Oh, we're gonna have blood
it's
Imogen
vampire,
back
but
again.
We haven't had blood Imogen for like a season.
Yeah.
Haven't.
I feel slightly more confident.
I have a lot of drama points. I will blow my load on this.
Well,
I'm glad bad things have happened to me because I'm almost back into double digits.
Nice.
I'm holding at 10. I'm okay at 10. Should have spent more this episode, but now I'm treating them like health potions. I can't go below 10. I need them for.
Oh yeah, you could do a health thing with them.
Yeah, you guys might want to consider doing that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I should. Yeah.
Yeah.
After
the
all
after
that
show, will
acting-
we all talk about what we should have done?
Yeah.
That's the hard part about magic. It's similar in like D&D where it's a limited resource. Like the metagame part of me knows that there is probably a bigger confrontation coming. That trying to have it in that moment was not something that I wanted to do, and I will start stacking penalties if I started doing stuff then. It's kind of the same thing where you're like, I might need this level 4 spell slot later on. Also, I recognize I have been playing a druid for too long because I was like, damn it, I don't have stone shape. Where's stone shape when you need it?
Yeah.
Or shape earth or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like there's also the meld where you
Meld
can, like,
with
meld
stone.
Meld into stone.
Yeah.
And bark skin would have been nice.
It would be handy. I mean, if he was invisible, I wasn't 100% sure. Fairy fire could have been handy too. Druids are great.
I had that like
turning
moment.
into a really small animal and going into that fucking hole to figure out where the spiral went and what was connected to that.
Oh yeah, you could have gotten Violet to help you. Yeah.
Yeah, but we really just shouldn't have been in there at all.
Why did you guys go? Okay, so that's the question that I had the whole time. I was like, I'm just gonna stay quiet because I don't want to influence what they're
didn't want
doing.
to split the
Why are
party.
they going in there?
Okay, so
I didn't want to split the party, so I followed.
I followed him because
this is basically all my fault.
Why'd you go in there?
I'm playing off of my occult investigator.
You know what? I
trait
will give you an extra drama point because you've got everyone in trouble for playing off the occult investigator. That's true.
because I have to do a willpower test, but if I don't want to, I can just go, ooh, shiny occult things.
Because we had a plan, and now the plan is just like.
We kind of had a mess.
We're just gonna go look
Because
around.
the plan didn't incorporate anything with Layla. Literally, everyone was like, "You're just gonna stay here," and Layla's like,
Yeah.
"All right, I'm gonna stay here," which makes her nervous because she's like the one who has to do things, so she has to rely on everyone else, and now everyone is trapped. And now she's like, "This is the crisis all over again."
yeah, but how Vampire Slayer apropos is that? Because how many times did their plan actually go? I think the only plan that ever went
Plans
completely.
have actually been fairly.
Maybe, I guess that's true, but usually they go, yeah, plans are meant to be made to be broken.
True.
at every point during that investigation, he was like, well, you don't quite know this thing yet. So every time we were like, well, I was like, let's go further inside. And then
that makes sense then. I was just like, what is the logic behind why are you continuing to go in there?
Why Josh had Barnaby go down, and I was like, rationally, Imogen wouldn't let 2 of them go and not have all of them be there.
Yeah, I figured.
I was going to go by myself, but nobody trusted me to do it on my own, so.
Well, you just get captured and then he'd like bite you and make you back into a vampire, or maybe a double vampire.
Well, right now, just so you know, Layla thinks that you were playing us the whole entire time, Catherine.
Yeah, I think everybody thought that until I was like, could you just go along with it?
But like Layla wasn't there when you were doing the whole.
It's true.
She's perceptive. She probably would have understood that. But like, if she wasn't there and all she got was
if you'd rolled,
your phone call.
If you'd like rolled a willpower check to like insight check on the phone, she's 100% genuine when doing that because she wants to. So it would have just been
of course, I'm hearing Robert yelling, and Robert clearly somehow got the phone. So and he's like traumatized. So I'm like, no, she's holding them against their will. That's what Layla thinks. So
we should have had we needed to have a moment where you had like a code word, like a bonding moment when we were out making out with some guy in the alleyway.
I've had I've had groups that have had code words. It doesn't
work.
It doesn't work.
Rob is going to keep feeding more and more, so like at some point he's probably going to describe all 4 of them trapped in the room and stuff like that. So that might become clear.
It's true.
It's however much he lets me do, because I can write more so all week.
I'm sure I drove everyone nuts because like Layla's super impulsive, so she tried to keep it cool. I tried. She tried. I was like, I'm gonna have to roll a willpower thing if I don't.
Mm-hmm.
But then the things kept toppling on top of each other, and then Janet and Violet were super unhelpful. So Layla's like,
you asked them to effectively destroy large amounts of infrastructure, and they're like, we don't destroy infrastructure, we support NPCs.
Yeah, but they have spells that can destroy things. Like it's
no, they don't. Like
Rob's plan was that he was going to build bombs when we came back from just investigating the bloody site.
We did investigate the site.
Right. We found out
and now we don't need bombs.
Imogen's pretty sure she knows what his plan is.
Yep. And the one person who might be able to easily screw up the plan is actually Layla because she understands Enochian. So she'd understand which sigils to remove.
Oh dear.
Well, guess what, crew?
We're gonna die.
Well, you mean I could screw it up?
If you got down to the thing in the center with the Enochian symbols on it.
Yeah, but they could call and describe stuff, too.
It would be
we can't actually get to that room.
They can't see it directly right now. The ceiling's closed.
Yeah, no, I mean, but if they were able to get to the room, they could describe stuff to her. But there's no phone now.
Yeah, and it would be like trying to describe a symbol is difficult. Trying to describe a symbol over, like, Morse code?
Holy cow.
No. I definitely think Morse code would not work.
I was going to say, well, there's not going to be a phone call, I don't think, so...
So it's going to be one of those things where Layla has to go in there, which is... This is the worst plan.
Effectively, like, as you're leaving, moving away from the source, like, I'm like, I'm not making you test for RP reasons as you're walking towards the problem, because you're like, you can fix problems on the way to go do your love and obligations thing. But as you start moving away, that's where I'd have to make you make a love and obligation roll.
She's moving out to the edge right now. Like, in the back of her head, she keeps remembering, like, what the whole point of this whole thing is. And it's to get Layla there, to kill the lineage, right? Like,
but you're a hero. The heroes do the dumb things,
and that's why she's there, where she shouldn't be.
So I have a technical
and if Rod takes too long, she's gonna go.
Okay. Does that mean that I have no Slayer blood left?
How do you mean?
Just because I'm a vampire? Like, right, so I'm a Slayer and I'm a vampire, yes?
Yep.
Is vampire more potent than being a Slayer?
Different kettle of fish.
It's not so much that you're a Slayer and a vampire, it's that you died. It's the same reason that, like, after Buffy died the second time, a new Slayer wasn't born.
Yeah.
It would only come from faith.
Oh, so I see. So you only get one chance. It's not like I got it. Okay.
So even though you have the abilities, you're not part of it.
The reason why you have the Slayer abilities is because you died.
Yeah.
Like you still keep your human traits to some extent, but then you get bonuses for being a vampire, right?
Vampire.
So your human state was like, you're this buff, crazy Slayer person. and then you got the other stuff.
Yeah, effectively, like the line doesn't split. It's you cheated the line by coming back. The line is a line, like it continues, it travels, and it's now currently in Layla. But you came back.
Yeah.
Like the line only goes in one direction, but you are an aberration up the line.
If you died again, no new Slayer would be born. But
No
if
one
I
knows
died,
that because it's never happened before, though. But out of character, we know this.
Out of character, yes, but not in character.
It's like the
In character, we think that like
otherwise Huel would have
stay
just held on to Charity and done it with her. Like there would have been no reason to do all of this convoluted stuff because he had a fucking Slayer if she would have worked. So
well, that's kind of my question.
Charity dying will not achieve the end that he wants.
Well, I guess I guess that's my question because it's like the first time he turned her, why would he not have just kept her as a Slayer and done this then?
Presumably
maybe he did. Maybe he tried to do it 10 years ago and then it didn't work, and now he's trying to do it again, but like with more power from using that.
You know that he only got the Enochian book from the Watchers recently when they bombed the council.
That's it.
Oh, that's right, because I stole that. That he didn't have the book, so he couldn't have done it. And he needed me to be a vampire.
At the time, it was easy to just have like a really powerful entity like a Slayer vampire on his side.
Yeah, he could just use you to do his bidding type of thing.
He needed an avatar that could leave the school.
Right.
I like that Catherine was like trying to like, like
make him angry. I really
wanted him in the room because then I would have tried to fight him. But him being not in the room meant I'm like, he can just.
Well, I almost made. I don't know how I could. That was my. I was going to ask you how high it was because I almost would have jumped up there or at least attempted. But I thought it was probably too high.
You're a Slayer and a vampire. You could have jumped up there.
I had that urge and I was like, and then hopefully would have just closed it and it would have just been me and Tom. But then I was like, meh, that's risky.
Yeah.
So I bided my time.
Could have been dramatic though.
I was so close. I really, really was. And then I was like, no, I'm just gonna give him sass.
Catherine.
I'm gonna
we would have been at 5 players for the finale.
I was like, it'd be like, so Chelsea, we don't need you for the finale anymore.
Deuces. Go home. But I decided not to. I decided just to give him sass instead. Plus, I think outing him and showing weakness is way more beneficial for me to story.
Yeah.
Because you saw him get upset. That's what I wanted.
True.
I wanted him to get upset.
Yeah, well, it's good that he can get upset. And I don't know. This is a mess.
What's the point of a villain you can't sass while they're holding you hostage?
There isn't one. Villains are all about sass, don't you know? That's why they exist.
I'm afraid of what the deal's going to be with Ra.
Hi.
I just want you to go up to him being like, I feel like a true demon roaming around is bad for business. Like, if he causes an apocalypse, that's going to mess with your semi-apocalypse you've got going here. That can't be good.
But does it cancel one of the two out? There can only be one apocalypse, right?
Well, it's
what's the plural of apocalypse?
A true demon wrecking everything is going to kill all the people that are being greedy for him.
That is very true.
Yeah. However, Layla is desperate for her friends, and the intelligence spell drops, so it's understandable. He's not all powerful though. He can't just like wreck the entire building like 3 meters down. There's a reason he laid pipes 3 meters down because they're very hard to get through.
Yeah, I think. Well, she doesn't want his help with that. She wants his help with closing the hole in heaven.
That might be even harder for him. He might be able to do something about getting everyone.
Which was what we were going to do already. So we know that there's a spell for it. I just need someone to cast it. I just don't know how to cast it because I'm Layla.
That's the thing. Like Barnaby's current idea is to try and find out how the walls work and then get through to the cot. I don't.
Well, see, that was also the other thing. It's like we were so close to actually getting an item that was part of the original plan, which is also why we took that like extra step to go a little too far. And that's when he was like, "No."
I'm pretty sure the way the walls work is Tom makes them work.
Yeah.
So
theoretically, it's telekinesis.
I think he showed us that so that we would be like, "Oh, let's go in there," and then he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna bring the walls down now."
Yeah, it's not telekinesis because you need line of sight. You would know that.
It's true.
It could, yeah.
He did say he put his blood, sweat, and tears into building this school.
Is he the school? Is that how this works?
Yeah, He may have done something to the grounds,
school. The school is just one giant vampire. That's what's happening.
So you're just gonna stab it in the heart of the school.
Mecha fight.
Yeah, the school starts. The reason why we're hearing the rumbling is because the school's coming to life,
and all the buildings like fuse together to make one like giant Zord school.
Oh my god!
And then you fight Upper Rosewater. Greater
It's
Rosewater
a giant
go down.
golem.
Yeah, Rob.
Tomhule is a golem. It all comes full circle.
Makes total sense. Everything.
We figured it out. And he's gonna
And then
imbue that
what they
golem.
wanted to infuse the golem with was the true demon spirit soul thing.
Figured it out.
Damn.
Yeah.
You no longer come to school.
Game
comes to
snake
you.
form.
The school will come to
He
you.
just starts ripping apart all his notes.
I will make you
He
learn.
does not look pleased with us. I need everybody to know that. The sheer cowl on his face.
I know.
Scowl
I'm
on his face.
directly thinking
Normally
about.
you have this look on your face like, yes, yes.
No. That's
Good.
last episode. This episode, like, you want to make a deal with Ra, so I'm like thinking what Ra could give you that you could use like right now. There is a version of the spell for ending a witch's things where you don't need a witch's item, you just need the witch, so you can directly apply it to them. Effectively, it needs a link
Surely
to
if
them.
you
That's
had the
gonna be
witch,
easier.
the problem would solve itself.
Yeah.
Well, true. The way the spell works, the one you've got, is effectively you use the link to get to the witch, and then you end the
Yeah.
spell at the source.
Yeah,
You
it's
can
a
apply it to the
synthetic
witch if
token
you
thing.
could hold the witch still for like 30 minutes, but there'd be other versions of that where you just have to apply them to the witch to end the magics.
I mean, I could
It's not gonna come to me.
make fucking eye contact with him. It's not very long though. Because I gotta blink at some point. So how fast can you cast a spell?
Not very fast.
No. You
This
don't have
this
quick
is
cast.
where I wish I'd learned some of the spells that don't need items like cauldrons and Hubble Bubble, Toil and Trouble, and sympathetic tokens, because I could probably set up something, but I have nothing. I have a huge list of spells I want to get Barnaby, but they're all...
That's the thing, is most spells need components of some kind, and you can only quick cast if you have sorcery.
That's the thing. I've specifically picked a bunch of spells that need a ritual and like chanting for 5 minutes, but that's it. So they're technically a bit more practical than spending an hour going, lighting candles and pentagrams and stuff. But yeah.
Man,
I like the idea of Barnaby doing more rituals because we haven't really seen a lot of that. So Layla doesn't trust you with magic because every single time you've done something, it's been horribly wrong.
Oh yeah, so that thing where we suddenly saw Barnaby's demon form.
Oh yeah.
How the hell does that work? Because I thought time was rewritten.
Yeah,
And he was never a demon.
Real.
He was
I
never a
didn't see
demon,
this.
but Barnaby remembers being a demon.
Okay, so that's why that appeared.
Oh yeah, I do, but I'm ignoring it.
Yeah.
Just how we solve all of our problems.
We're all
Just
like,
ignore them.
Just ignore it.
That's how teenagers solve their problems, just by ignoring it.
Bury it
That's
deep
the thing
down.
that's happened, but this is not the time.
See, you know what? If we had just ignored Tom,
Would have gone away.
Forgot about our
would our
lives.
problem have gone away? Just ignore him.
In an alternate universe, they fix the problem by, like, it just cuts to, like, a few days later. Rob's there with just a cement truck, just pouring it down the
filling it
stairwells.
in.
Just over and over. Just like, there we go, bring all the cement in.
Speaking of which, I like that we got to use the roll shovel emote for actually digging something.
True.
It's the first usage and the last
Wow,
usage
this is
in
actually a
history.
practical use of this emote.
Oh, I did see a roll bunny request today. For that one showed up, a roll bunny.
Bun bun.
Yeah.
It would only apply to Layla for like Violet.
And anything with Bentham.
Right.
And I guess anything with Bentham. Bentham, you need a bunny emote.
I mean, I have my LeMayo emotes.
That's true.
That's true.
But that's multi-use. LeMayo works
It's
in
just the
multiple.
general lol emote, so...
Yeah,
we should
it's
end
like
the
an
after show
LOL
here
emote.
anyway, because it's going on quite long. So thank you much for watching the after show. Thanks for watching the show.
No.
Penultimate
Save
episode.
us.
Finale coming up. Let's see what happens.
Tell us your pro tips down below in the comments on Patreon. We need help.
Yeah, and by pro tips, save us.
Remind me of more allies we can bring, and I'm still on board with like bringing the knights in to just try and wreck face.
Someone mentioned that. They're like, call in the Knights, tell them there's some like hearsay going on.
I do
was
like that no one mentioned the Watchers Council until now.
Yeah,
like,
the chat was like, call the Watchers Council.
I know, and now people actually want us to call the Watchers Council. I'm like,
like I don't want to, but you know what?
I still
More
don't trust
people
them.
to die instead of us.
And now after Charity or Catherine told me the other thing, he really doesn't trust them.
Anyway, thank you for watching.
Bye.